waterfall. Nothing can harm me at all. My worries seem so very small, but my waterfall. I can see my rainbow calling me through the misty breeze of my waterfall. Some people say daydreamers for all the lazy-minded fools with nothing else to do. So let them laugh at me. So just as long as I have you to see me through, I have nothing to lose. Long as I have you. Waterfall, don't ever change your ways. Fall with me for a million days, for my waterfall.
What did I do with my vape?
Craving all the time? Even when you don't want to?
Lungs burning? Trouble focusing?
Vaping affects more than you know. Ready to break free?
Go to dropthevape.org to sign up for texts with tips and advice to help you quit. A message from the New York State Department of Health.
Early birds always rise to the occasion for summer vacation planning because early gets you closer to the action. So don't be late. Book your next vacation early on Vrbo and save over $530 on week-long stays. Average savings $550. Select homes only. Minimum 7-day stay required.
Hey, Spotifyers. Click or tap the banner to listen to 80s Workout. Grab your leg warmers and spandex. Let's get physical. Brought to you by Nature's Bounty. From head to heels, Nature's Bounty has solutions to supplement all of you.
Let's try to sleep.
upon your lips. You've blown another relationship. You say that God had a hand in this. I say you should have stayed away from that other girl. Now I look at you, and you look at me. Our life's the fix for the eternal fatalist. You've gone and lost your job again. Can I borrow 10 till Tuesday, friend? You say a lack of dividend has always been spelled out in the stars. Now I look at you, and you look at me. It's a financial risk for the eternal fatalist. Our life's a fix for the eternal fatalist. You say it's all lined up like shot glasses on the bar of life. You sink your way through it. You never once got stiffed. So pick yourself up, pay your tab, and get on with your life. Get on with it! Have you ever heard of dialectics? One sure way to get some perspective. Of course, every action is an elective. I wonder what my horoscope has to say today. You say your moon's in the 7th house, but your butt's been 3 days on my couch. You've eaten me out of home and house. You nearly drank up all of my beer. Yeah, I'm out of here. Well, I look at you, and you look at me. Our life's the fix for the eternal fatalist. Yeah, it's a 10-year hitch for the eternal fatalist. Our life's the fix for the eternal fatalist. You look at me. Yeah, our life's the fix for the eternal fatalist. And you look at me. I've learned to look at the eternal fatalist. And you look at me. Yeah, I've learned to look at the eternal fatalist. And you look at me.
RITER Radio is a BKR Media production.
Welcome to the morning meeting, everybody. Or should I say the whenever you decide to show up meeting?
I said the hip, hop, the hippie, the hippie, hippie, hip, hip, hop, and you don't stop the rocket to the bang, bang, boogie, say, yup, yup, the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what the hell is to the twist, I'm ripping to the beat. I mean, the groove, and my friend, you're gonna try to move your feet. See, I am Wonder Man, can I like to say hello? I do the black, to the white, the red, and the blue, the purple, and yellow. But first I gotta bang, bang, the boogie to the boogie, say, yup, yup, the boogie to the bang, bang, boogie.
So I am fully prepared for show number 241 today, but I'm not fully warmed up for 241 today. I've been awake for, I don't know, 17 minutes, something like that. I had to set alarms over the weekend. My phone is my alarm, and I have it set for 8:45 Monday through Friday, but then I used that same alarm and changed it for the weekend. There was, I don't even know, there was baseball, I'm sure, and there was something else Sunday, and so I, like, the alarm, I didn't switch it back. I was drowning in football last night. I went football, followed by football, followed by football, followed by, all right, that's enough football. I'm going to go downstairs and watch something else. So I put on Netflix. And then I couldn't find anything on Netflix. And the thing I found on Netflix was, I guess yesterday was the first day that the Bill Simmons podcast with Cousin Sal was live on Netflix. And I ended up putting that on. And I was falling asleep. And my phone rang at 11:53. And it was my friend who wanted to talk about the Bills. I ended up on the phone till, I don't know, 1:30. Then I went back to the Cousin Sal thing. And then I never even, I don't remember the Bills part. I don't think I got to it. I wanted to hear Cousin Sal and Bill Simmons talk about the Bills. And I don't remember that. And the next thing I knew, it was my wife going, hey, it's after 10. So I was like, oh, all right. Well, I'm ready. I've got stuff written down. I like to be in full swing before the show starts, but I am not today. But I've got a bunch of stuff written down, and Scott's coming on at 11 o'clock, which is only a half an hour from now. So we started a little late, but I'm okay. And, I mean, we're okay, right? Right? Western New York, we're good. Had to sweat it out a little bit. But it's not difficult for me to get to, like, never in doubt. That's what the playoffs are. That's a team that scared me a little bit. The Jaguars are a team that scared me a little bit in that, honestly, my only fear all week was every time I count that team as nothing, which I still do, I will continue to do. Every time I count it as nothing, they poop on me. Like, my least favorite football game of all time is Bills-Jaguars playoff game, end of the 96 season, when it did not cross my mind that the Bills season could end. And then it did, and I was there. And I mean, I wanted to go fight a section of Jags fans sitting in the end zone. I wanted to do that. I was talked down by a less reasonable friend of mine. Like, let's not go over there and argue with them and end up getting thrown in jail. Let's not do that. He was right. It's a long time. It's 30 years ago. And we didn't do it, and that's good. And then I didn't go to the game yesterday because, A, I don't go to games. B, it wasn't in Buffalo. But going on the road against the 3-seed Jaguars turned out exactly the way I anticipated, which was a victory. But we did have to sweat it a little bit. I recognize that. And I don't care at all. I do care about the 17 injuries that our Lord and Savior Josh Allen is dealing with right now. My entire family, other than me, went to the airport last night about 8:30 when they landed. And Josh was noticeably limping, walking off of the plane. But he'll be fine. I believe in that dude. I trust that guy. And I think they'll be okay going to Denver, too. I've heard, big, bad, scary things about the Denver Broncos. But true story, last night my wife is like, all right, Denver. What do I need to know about Denver? Did Denver even go to the playoffs last year? And I was like, yeah, they did. We played them. She's like, what? Completely forgettable game. Go ahead, quiz yourself right now. Do you remember a single goddamn thing about the Bills beating the Broncos? I think it was 31-7 last year. I looked it up. I had to look it up to prove it to myself that yes, in fact, that team was in the playoffs last year. It was rookie Bo Nix. It was, I believe, first year of Sean Payton as the head coach. Speaking of Sean Payton, did that feel like there was a bounty on Josh Allen in the game yesterday? There were multiple gross, small, unprosecutable hits on Allen. We'll start with the first one. The first time he had to go to the friggin' tent, where I never even caught the guy's name. I didn't want to rewind during the game and accidentally lose my place in it. But he was sacked. He was down. It was already like a semi-violent hit that put him on the ground. And then there was the big fat man, a D lineman, who went. It was almost the Hulk Hogan elbow drop on top of our boy there, except it wasn't his elbow that hit Josh in the head. It was his his whole weight. I'm gonna jump on this guy who's down's head, and there's no penalty for it because it was hidden in the mix of mass destruction that was happening to Allen in the moment. But it was for sure some D lineman's wide hips and butt that landed on Josh Allen's head the first time he had to go to the tent. It was because of that. No penalty, no nothing. Just, I don't think I can blame the Jaguars. I think that the way to beat the Buffalo Bills is to, the first thing you want to do is eliminate Josh Allen from contention. And it seemed to me that there was a clear directive to do that. Maybe it's not, organization-wide. Maybe it's not Liam Cohen telling the team, hey, I'll give you, $10,000 if you take him out of the game. But that looked to be the goal, right? And by the time we got to halftime, he had suffered a head injury that was, cleared, which is good. He had the knee thing that was, he could still go after that, the first rushing touchdown that he put in, not the one that put them away and, declared the Bills eligible for round 2. But there was that. He already had the foot/ankle thing going on. He hit his hand on a helmet. That's not anyone's fault. And I feel like there was another one, too, mixed in. But ultimately, the Bills advance in a strong performance. I thought the defense was good. I thought Trevor Lawrence was exactly what we thought he was. I had a text from a buddy of mine. I think when was it? Saturday night. We were at a baseball game Saturday night. And he's like, how do you feel? I'm like, well, I do think that the Bills have Josh Allen and that other team has Trevor Lawrence, who, my God, I got into another argument with AI about Trevor Lawrence. I just kept questioning his manhood / do I want to say that? Yeah, all right. I'm not going to read the whole conversation I had with AI, but I'm just sitting there watching the game. I'm like, what's up with this guy? Why does he have that hair? Why is he wearing his wedding ring on his right hand? Why does he wear capri pants? Why does he dance with Travis Hunter in the the commercial? Like, what am I looking at here? That's not a person you can put up against Josh Allen and be like, all right, we're going at it today. We got him. They got Josh. Let's go. You can't do that with Trevor Lawrence. And I got I'll call it a complimentary text message from my buddy Tim, who I was talking to at baseball the other night. He's like, what are you thinking about the game? I was like, well, I think we have Josh Allen and they have Trevor Lawrence, and that guy's going to melt. And he did. I think I think he's terrible. I know he's had this run. He had a run for a month and a half where he threw a ton of touchdown passes. Like, this guy's playing at an MVP caliber. Yeah, it's not how MVP works. MVP doesn't work by, stringing together 6 good games. MVP is Josh. Like, look at this dude. And he's not going to win it this year, and that's fine. Who cares? I want the Super Bowl more. I like that he's got the validation of it from last year. But that's not what it's about. But it sort of is. It's sort of like that was validation for all of us. Going, yeah, we're putting all of our eggs in this guy's basket because he's the best thing that's ever happened to our city. And he remains that. It wasn't an amazing, like, stop the presses, look at this guy type of game. But then you look at the numbers at the end and you think of the 9 ridiculous plays he made. You're like, oh, yeah, that's right. We got him. I don't know what the rest of the team is, but it's that guy. And it's McDermott. Last week, when did it happen? Tuesday. Last Tuesday is when we discovered that John Harbaugh had been fired. And during the game, I only had one outburst of yelling at the television. And I'm watching it. It's my wife. It's 2 of the 3 kids most of the time watching the game. A 3rd kid's upstairs playing guitar. It's fine. When I thought that McDermott wasn't going to challenge the play, and I don't think coaches should have to challenge. I think we need to fix replay. I think we need to fix a lot of things, NFL-wise, regarding replays and challenges and measurements and that kind of stuff. That we should be better than this in 2026. I think we should be better. But in the current, the NFL the way it is right now, coaches have to challenge things, even though we can see it. I can see it better. Like, I'm watching on television. He's the head coach of the team, and it's his responsibility to say, hey, that's not a first down, even though, my 9-year-old can see it better than Sean McDermott can see it. But I still needed him to challenge it. Whatever the system is, whatever's upstairs, it has to come downstairs into his headset. Has to happen. And eventually they challenged it, and it worked. I think it's the 2nd time all year that he's been right to challenge. And actually, he's been right other times, but it worked for the 2nd time. That wasn't a first down. You can't just give him that. His leg was down, his knee, or what's the word for that part of the leg? His shin. His shin was down before he leaped forward or leapt forward. And they got the call right eventually, and it worked. But I yelled at the TV, like, if you don't challenge this, John Harbaugh is the coach of this team tomorrow. That was even with a win. Like, you have to, if you're in charge of the organization, you have to make that challenge. You have to pull out that stupid red flag, which, again, I contend shouldn't exist in the NFL. Like, we've got the replays. Get them right. Get the calls right. It's not on the guy who's not watching TV. It's on the people who are watching TV to fix it. But he did throw that stupid flag, and they went to commercial, and they came back like, yeah, it's fine. It's not a first down. Everything's good. But yeah, here we are. Congratulations. I'm talking in a almost angry tone about a Bills playoff victory, and that's not what I meant to do. Like I said, I'm not warmed up. You're getting the fresh out of bed version of me. But I eat, drank, slept football. And even, like, as I was falling asleep, it was football. Welcome to Monday. Welcome to round 2 of the playoffs. The divisional round, they call it. Which also doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's fine. Super wild card weekend does make sense. Divisional round doesn't make sense. round where we welcome in the two teams that got a bye is more appropriate. And the Bills will go to Denver, where they have no air, which sucks. I don't like the air thing. The lack of air is my only fear. The Broncos are not my fear. They have a tenacious pass rush, Collinsworth style. But that's about it. I don't see a problem here. So I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with going to Denver. I'm comfortable with whatever opponent comes next after that, except for Houston. So Houston Steelers tonight is the last game of the first round of the playoffs, and I think I don't know a human being in Western New York that's not rooting for Pittsburgh to get through. I don't think they will. But, that's my thought. That's my hope. And then I don't fear the Steelers at all. I don't fear the Patriots at all. I kind of want the Bills to go to New England next week. Sorry, in 2 weeks. Well, no, I guess we will call that next week. We'll call the game at Denver this week. That's right. I think the road to the Super Bowl is right there. It's right there for the Bills. I hope they're healthy enough. I didn't like the vibe of, Poyer went out yesterday. Not great. Gabe Davis went out yesterday. That felt like the last drop of his career, doesn't it? Guys going off the field in a playoff game with towels over their heads after they, missed a large chunk of a year due to a knee injury, and it's the same knee. And he, again, back to my family going to the airport, he got off the plane with my wife said cast on his leg and crutches. And then one of my kids is like, not cast, it was like a lower leg thing. Or it was a knee brace, I think is what my one son said. That looked like the same knee. And towel over the face tends to mean I'm very frustrated. Don't show my face on national television. I would put a towel over my face if I got hurt and was carted off. I would wear a towel. And I understand it, the frustration there, and that sucks. I am a massive fan of Gabe Davis. I understood why he went to Jacksonville last year because they weren't going to pay him, and it made sense. And Diggs is still around and all that stuff. No, he wasn't at that point. It doesn't matter. They weren't going to pay him what he had earned on the free agent market, and it was fine. I didn't need the Bills to pay him what he had earned as a big free agent in the NFL. But when he became available and came back, I loved it. And he sat on the practice squad, and I loved it because eventually he was going to come back. And I anticipated him catching 2 touchdowns and 112 yards yesterday. And that didn't happen because he got hurt in the game, and that sucks. But if he's out. If Josh Allen is okay, and he's going to play. He's going to play. And honestly, even the injuries that we watched pile up on him, he was still him at the end. He's, kind of broken and battered version of himself, but that dude is capable of willing your team to victory. And I'm here to watch it in Denver, and I'm here to watch it in New England or Pittsburgh or Houston the following week, and I'm here to watch it in, where's the Super Bowl? Santa Clara? I'm here to watch it in Santa Clara. They're okay. There was a video clip that I saw online, and this has not even been confirmed by the speaker of the clip, but there was a video clip I saw maybe Friday and was quoting over the weekend leading into the game. And if I'm misquoting it, it's not by much. I texted Mike Shope because the clip was him. I texted him and asked him, "Did you say these words? Is this exactly right?" And he just replied, "Possible." But there was a video clip, like a YouTube short or a reel, whatever those quick little, 15-second video. And he said, 24-20, 4 minutes left. Would you rather, as a Bills fan, be the team that is defending a 4-point lead, or would you rather have the ball? And my thought was, ball, Josh Allen, no problem. Can do. And would you believe it? That's what happened. It was literally 24-20. Like, he used 24-20 as an example of tight game. Would you rather be down? You're not going for a field goal here. You're going for a touchdown. Would you rather be down 4 with Josh or up 4 with the defense? And my thought was, yeah, give me the ball. Give me the ball. Let me close this thing out. The Bills got the ball down 24-20 with, I think it was 4:03 left. I thought, holy crap, I've been talking about this for 2 days. And here it is. It was the exact situation. And, part of me wants to say it was a struggle, but it was football. It was what football is. Yeah, that pass to Brandon Cooks was, it's not a crazy play, but it's a something play in that moment. Heaving the ball down the field to a guy who's barely on the team, but has been a massive, massive addition to the Bills. A team that, you look at that receiving core, there's not a lot there, man. But they got something out of all of them. Yesterday, Keon Coleman probably only had 1 catch in the game. It was a big play. Shakir is Shakir. They threw him the ball down the field at least once. Instead of the Shakir running backwards while we turn and throw it to him and then hope things work out. Although that play worked a couple times. There was that. Cooks was something. Shavers, I don't know if he caught a pass. I don't think he caught a pass. I don't have the box score in front of me or anything, but he was, there were multiple plays where, like, look at him blocking. And when he was out of the game for a little while, he came back. That was scary too. Like, we need Tyrell Shavers. This is important. All of this is important. Got to get through each and every Saturday or Sunday. This week it'll be Saturday. Honestly, I haven't looked to see if they announced the game time yet, but I assume they announced at the end of last night's game that the Bills will play on Saturday, and the other game will be the Seahawks and Niners. And because both of them, like, it's 3, I'm not going to call Denver the West Coast, but you know what I mean. Like, 3 out there, 3 Western teams, and the Bills are on the road. So I assume a Mountain Time team and an East team will be the early game at 4 o'clock or 4:30, and then Niners Seahawks will be the late game. So I assume that's what's going on. I was thinking about this. A Bills playoff game. What else can you think of other than a death of a human being, and then like a funeral or a wake or whatever, will just cause everyone to accept we're rearranging our schedule. We're canceling our plans. You have to cancel your plans when your uncle dies. You're like, we were going to go to we had tickets for this, and we were going to do, and then you're just like, no, that's off. Cancel it. Bills playoff game wiped out yesterday our first day of basketball season. We had our youth basketball season. The Bills are playing, no game. This has happened, I would say, 3 of the last 4 years. where we schedule our basketball season and we're about to play and we play on Sundays. And it's like, nah, we're not doing it. The Bills are playing. We've got a pretty action-packed weekend every weekend around here because of youth sports, and things just get wiped out. So it's like, they're playing Saturday. I guess there's no baseball, and we'll see. I haven't looked at my phone yet. I haven't done anything. I seriously woke up 15 minutes before this. And so I haven't looked to see if they solidified what time the game's being played. But we've got a baseball game next Sunday night, 8 o'clock. But if the Bills are playing at 4:30, we can't play a friggin' baseball game at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock game, you got to be there by 7:30. We're not going to be there by 7:30 if the Bills are playing at 4:30. We can't do it. No. So I'm not going. My kid can go. I picture our psycho baseball coach renting a bus and just driving around and picking up children and taking them to a baseball game. Because Drew would go. He would go play. But I'm not going, and I'm not driving him there, and he's not going to be there on time. Because it's very similar to, I'm sorry, death in the family. Can't do it. Like, I'd cancel a wedding. If I was getting married on Saturday at 4 o'clock, I would cancel that. I think there will be I bet there are weddings scheduled for that day that will be canceled. Just cancel it. Never mind. I'm not getting married. I'm changing the rest of my life. It's not even, I wouldn't even move. I would just wipe out the weddings and never mind. I'm sorry. I thought I was going to get married, but I'm not, because the Bills are playing the Broncos in round 2 of the playoffs. What else is like that? What else cancels everything? Death in the family, blizzard, Bills playoff game. Those are the top 3, probably. What else? COVID, that helped us canceling things. That taught us it was okay. No, it's on the schedule. We have to do it. No, you don't. You can't. You're not doing it. Bills playoff game. Sorry. Saturday's canceled, everyone. Saturday afternoon on, canceled. You can still do something at like 10 p.m., I guess. If you have your band has a gig at a bar, you can keep that. But otherwise, nope. If it ever happens again, a Sabres Game 7. Sabres Game 6 was Chris the Bulldog Parker's wedding. That was not canceled. They knew what they were doing. They scheduled a wedding for the day that ended up being Game 6, Sabres, Stars, Stanley Cup Final, 1999. And I had to host the post-game show because Bulldog was getting married. I went to his wedding, the church part. I went to that. And then I left, and then I went and hosted the pre- and post-game show for the Sabres. And then my intention was to go back to the reception, which was up in Canada at their beach house. And I didn't make it back because the Sabres game went to 3 overtimes or two or three. I don't remember now at this point. Wow. I already forget. But the Brett Hall foot in the crease goal thing happened. I had to host the post-game show, and I was there all night. I didn't go back to the wedding. Or maybe I did super late. I don't know. But it ruined it. No, you don't reschedule for things that aren't the Bills in the playoffs in the year that we're feeling it. I'm not feeling it with the roster. I'm not feeling it with the rest of the roster. But I'm feeling it with the era we're in and the superstar that is leading the team. And, man, it's him. It's that dude. We schedule around that. So if you got something planned for Saturday, cancel it now. Because the Bills are in the playoffs, and they won, and they're facing Denver, and Denver's the 1 seed, and who gives a crap about that? It's just a team. I don't like the part where they play in a stadium without air. Like the elevation, I'm not a huge fan of. There was a part of me that was like, if the Chargers win, the Chargers can go there. They're used to playing there. We're not used to playing there. But It's a Bills playoff game, and the quarterbacks are Josh Allen and Bo Nix. Bo Nix of the forgettable 31-7 first-round game last year. That's your opponent. I feel pretty good. I have referred to none of my notes. Bob Weir died over the weekend. That sucks. I've had throwing stones in my head for several days. I guess that's what we'll play when we take a break. I can't believe it's 10:58 already. I know I started super late, but I looked down at the clock thinking it was about 10:43, and it's 10:58, which means Scott Wilson is waiting for me to call him. And I can't do that until I play some music. And mentioning Bob Weir's death, Bob Weir of the Grateful Dead. I've had throwing stones in my head forever. There it is. We're going to play that. We'll be back in a couple minutes with Scott Wilson. I'm Brad Reiter. It's Reiter Radio. It's episode 241. The Bills advance. Let's go. I've got stuff I want to say about the trivia show. Trivia show is official. It's called Brain Vault. It's live. It's at the Kaz in South Buffalo. Tickets are on sale right now. I highly recommend you buy them. This is going to be amazing. It did get pushed back an extra week, so it's the 27th. There was a time a few weeks ago where I thought we were starting this show tomorrow on the 13th. It got pushed back once. It got pushed back again. But we are locked in for a 6-week run starting the 27th. And I would like you to go to the Kaz Buffalo and buy tickets for it, please. I've got more details on that. That's what's occupying my brain, along with Bills football. And again, I've got a bunch of stuff written down to talk about with this game and with the weekend of football, but I got to none of it so far in the first hour of the show. That said, the first hour of the show was shortened because I was sleeping and exhausted from the weekend that was. But Scott Wilson's going to join me. He'll wake everything up in just a couple of minutes. We'll be back in just a moment. It's Reiter Radio. Thank you for tuning in, sharing, liking, following, subscribing, all the crap I always tell you to do. And we shall return momentarily with Scott Wilson. It's Reiter Radio, episode 241. Thanks for joining me.
Picture a bright blue ball just spinning free, dizzy with eternity, painted with the skin of sky, rushes and clouds and sea. Call it home for you and me. A peaceful place, a sort of looks from space. A closer look reveals the human race. Full of hope, full of grace is the human face. But afraid, we may lay our home to waste. There's a fear down here we can't forget. Hasn't got a name just yet. Always awake, always around. Singing ashes, ashes all fall down. Ashes, ashes all fall down. Now watch as the ball revolves and the nighttime falls. And again the hunt begins. And again the blood wind calls. Back again, the morning sun will rise. The darkness never goes from some men's eyes. Well, I know it strolls the sidewalks and it rolls the streets, staking turf, dividing up meat. Nightmare, spook, piece of heat. It's you and me, you and me. Flash blade in ghetto night. Rudy's looking for a fight. Rat cat alley, rope and bow. shake their bones, and the politicians throwing stones, singing ashes, ashes, all fall down. Ashes, ashes, all fall down. Heartless powers try to tell us what to think. If the spirit's sleeping, then the flesh is ink. There, history's page will be neatly carved in stone. The future's here. We are it. We are on our own. On our own. On our own. On our own. Place or take the blame. We will leave this place an empty stove, for that shining ball of blue we can call our home. So the kids they dance and shake their bones, and the politicians throwing stones, singing ashes, ashes, all fall down. Ashes, ashes, all fall down. South and white comes north. In a whole world full of petty wars, singing I got mine and you got yours. In the current fashion, set the pace. Lose your step, fall out of grace. In the radical, he rant and rage, singing someone got to turn the page. Man in his summer home, singing just leave well enough alone. But his pants are down, his cover's blown, and the politicians throwing stones. So the kids they dance and shake their bones, cause it's all too clear we're on our own. Singing ashes, ashes, all fall down. Ashes, ashes, all fall down. Picture a bright blue ball just spinning, spinning free. Possibilities. Ashes, ashes, all fall down. 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 Singing ashes, ashes, all fall down. Ashes, all fall down. Ashes, ashes, all fall down. Ashes, ashes, all fall down.
Fighting AI complexity and unreliable results? Voyage AI by MongoDB delivers industry-leading embedding and re-ranking models. Build semantic search, RAG, and agentic AI with less complexity. Ship better AI faster at mongodb.com/build.
Early birds always rise to the occasion for summer vacation planning because early gets you closer to the action. So don't be late. Book your next vacation early on Vrbo and save over $530 on week-long stays. Average savings $550. Select homes only. Minimum 7-day stay required.
Night with a biker, and I showed him a picture of you. I said, pal, get to know her, you'll like her. Seemed like the least I could do. 'Cause when he's charging his chopper up and down your carpeted hall, you'll think me by contrast quite proper. Never mind, I stumble and fall. Never mind, I stumble and fall. You imagine me sipping champagne from your brew, or a taste of your elegant pie. I may be going to hell in a bucket, baby, but at least I'm enjoying the ride. At least I'm enjoying the ride. Yeah, at least I'm enjoying the ride. Yeah. A pretender. Somehow baby got hard as it gets, with her black leather crow's box suspenders, her chair and her whip and her pets. Will we know you the reincarnation of the Reverend Catherine the Great? Then we know how you love your ovations and the Z-rated scenes you create. Yeah, Z-rated scenes you create. You imagine me sipping champagne from your booth, where I taste of your elegant pride. I mean, you're going to hell in a bucket, baby, but at least I'm enjoying the ride. At least I'm enjoying the ride. Yeah, at least I'm enjoying the ride. You analyze me, attempt to despise me, you laugh when I stumble and fall. There may come a day I will dance on your grave. If unable to dance, I will crawl across it. Or if able to dance, I will crawl. Yeah, unable to dance, I'll crawl. Yeah. You must really consider the circus, 'cause it just might be your kind of zoo. I can't think of a place that's more perfect for a person as perfect as you. And it's not like I'm leaving you lonely, 'cause I wouldn't know where to begin. But I know that you think of me only when the snakes come marching in. Yeah, when the snakes come marching in. You imagine me sipping champagne from your brew, or a taste of your elegant pie. I may be going to hell in a bucket, babe, but at least I'm enjoying the ride. At least I'm enjoying the ride. Ride, 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 ride. At least I'm enjoying the ride. Ride, 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 ride. At least I'm enjoying the ride. Ride, ride. At least I'm enjoying the ride.
Let's check in with Writer Radio's senior football correspondent, Scott Wilson.
Let's do exactly that and say hello to our good friend and frequent radio show contributor, Scott Wilson. What's up, dude? How are you?
Hey, what's up, man? Listen, let's not even joke around. Let's get right to what everybody wants to hear us talk about.
Okay.
The Golden Globes.
Okay, before you do whatever you're about to do, let me just say that Nikki Glazer popping on in the middle of the Bills game saying, "Hey, everybody, while the Patriots are playing the Chargers in the playoffs, would you mind just sticking around here and watching this?" That seemed like, who tunes in for Nikki Glazer? Who's happy to see her ever? I think no one. Like, I don't even dislike her. I think she's mildly amusing and attractive. She's like both of those on like a base level. And I don't hate when she pops up on the TV. But her trying to convince me to not watch football was, I don't know, it seemed crazy. It seemed crazy during the Bills game.
Well, you could see, and I agree. I don't know why they could schedule this next weekend. Why is it this weekend? They could schedule this next weekend and it'd be fine on a Sunday. I don't know why they would choose to go up against playoff football. It's gonna get like 25 to 30 million viewers for that game. I don't know why you would choose to do that. It did work out though, timing wise, that you could see the monologue.
Okay,
I saw the monologue and did miss no parts of the game. So
all right. So what happened on the Golden Globes, Scott?
All right, it's not really the Golden Globes, but we had our debate last week about one battle after another, which won more awards here last night. And, you know, I haven't watched it a second time, but I'm starting to come around on it.
Yeah.
Because the movie, I don't want to, you know, it's still fairly new, I guess. I don't want to spoil too much of it. But there's a good portion of the movie, especially the second half of it, that is centered around the fact that Colonel Lockjaw wants to join this white supremacist type group, but there's a problem because he doesn't want them to find out that he hooked up with a black girl before
and had a kid with her.
And had a kid with her.
Yeah.
So then it becomes this whole chase down. And to me at the time, I'm like, this is all right. I get it. It's original, but it's also kind of farcical. Except for, I don't know if you're aware of this, but it's actually happening now in real life to that guy that shot the ice guy that shot the mother in Minnesota.
Oh, no, I didn't know this.
Okay, yeah. Where, you know, I don't want to get into all of the politics of it. That's not what I'm saying. I will clearly state that a traffic infraction is normally not punishable by 3 shots in the face.
Yes.
But ignoring that, just speaking upon the similarities to this movie, he was wildly supported after this happened for several days by all of these fringe, super right-wing, oftentimes white supremacy groups. And now it has come out that his wife, the shooter's wife, is a Filipino.
Oh.
And they have all turned on him.
They just backed off. Never mind.
And now they hate him. And he's catching all the backlash from them too. And I can't help but seeing, I'm like, wait a second. This is a real life Colonel Lockjaw happening in real time to us. And it's
amazing.
Yeah, I'm I still, some of the pacing and stuff of my argument still stands, but I think it's very hard to ignore how in this case life has imitated art in a very, very personal way for this guy.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, and again with that movie, I watched it the first time and was like, what is this? Because it was just so different from anything I'd ever seen. And then I watched it a second time with the knowledge of what happened, like how it all, you just know it better. And then you know what to look for and you can pay attention and understand it more. And I highly recommend you watch it a second time because I'm glad to hear it won stuff last night. It's going to win, I think, Oscars. The Golden Globes are usually indicative of what's going to happen at the Oscars. And I mean, I confess I haven't seen everything that's eligible, or most of the things that are eligible. But, you know, sometimes you just watch something, you're like, well, this should win all the awards. And then it does. And I think that's what's going to happen with One Battle After Another. So I'm happy to hear that it was victorious in some way and that it's ringing true. So that's great.
The only award I know for sure that it won was Tiana Taylor won for supporting actress.
Okay,
that was the first award they gave out right after the monologue, and she won for that.
Okay,
which I think is I don't know the stats on it, but she was only on the screen for maybe 15 to 20 minutes total at the very start. Most of that movie she is not in, yet her character does still, of course, loom large in the whole thing, but her actually on screen is not that long of a time.
Now you say
good.
You say her name like I should know who she is. And I mean I do from that movie, but like, do you know her from other things? Is she something else?
Well, I think she's done music stuff, and I did not know of her.
Okay.
I knew of her after she was on screen, and my wife said, "Oh, I think that's Tiana Taylor."
Okay.
And she knew of her.
Okay.
Then making me by osmosis or whatever that.
Yeah.
Aware of her.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, after I saw it, I read everything I could about it and learned a little bit about her, but you said her name like you knew who she was, and that made me think that I should have known who she was, but I did not. I didn't know anybody in that. I knew, you know, DiCaprio and Sean Penn, the end. But all right, that's great. That's great news. I did not bring you on to talk about the Golden Globes. I'm glad you did. But that is not the first thing that was on my mind when I woke up this morning about to do a show. I was thinking about football. So
the fashion of it all.
What? No.
Not the fashion.
No.
Let's talk fashion.
All right.
Can you believe the dress? No, I don't.
Can you believe what Aaron Andrews was wearing? That's something.
Yeah, I mean, we should talk about that.
We can.
Because, I mean,
Here we are. We're doing it.
A couple of emus.
Yeah.
Got sacrificed there for her jacket. I mean,
it's a mob.
She looked like
a mob of emus. They're not even called a flock. They're called a mob.
Yeah, I mean that was she looked like
Cruella de Vil?
mobster's wife.
Or Cruella de Vil.
Right. Yeah.
That was nice. It's a good look. I like her.
Let's talk football.
All right.
Shall we?
Yeah, sure.
The Bills survived some really sketchy calls.
Yeah.
And it's at the end of the first half there.
I don't understand that at all.
Thinking about, and it's probably one of the largest ball don't lie moments that has ever happened in a major professional sporting event, where everybody in the planet can see that the ball was not snapped before that clock got to 0, yet they're still going to get a free kick here. And not only that, they got free 5 yards on the penalty and missed kick. And it's like, yeah, well, you didn't deserve it. You shouldn't have gotten the right to kick it, and you missed it. So
that helped.
That
helped a lot.
That helped a lot.
The kick
and
didn't go through.
Really, there's two main takeaways that I have from the game, but also just overall in general from the entire weekend of especially pro football. One, Josh Allen is terrific. I mean, he's great.
He's pretty good.
Yeah. He's thrown to nobody.
Yeah.
And he's putting out spectacular numbers. Another game where he doesn't turn the ball over, is incredibly efficient. And I saw a stat that he is the first player in NFL history in the playoffs to have an 80% completion percentage and have multiple rushing touchdowns. And that's with a minimum of 5 passes. So you can't just go out there and have a halfback pass and qualify for that.
Right.
So, I mean, he was terrific. The throw that he made with Lloyd pressuring right in his face, untouched up the middle to Cooks, is an incredible throw. Right up there with, we'll get to the other games, but the Caleb Williams throw on 4th down was unbelievable as well. Those two throws for the weekend were by far the best throws. But Josh was great. And again, just a tank. And I think credit to Jacksonville, they played very physical. I think they thought that they could come out there and physically dominate.
Yeah, they kind of did.
Yes, they made an impact, but I think that there is something to be said for when you play that physical and you hit that hard, and the other guy who you're number one trying to impact just doesn't seem impacted at all.
Mm-hmm.
Can be very demoralizing.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's very right. I found myself wondering.
Josh took like 4 hits in this game that were crazy, and to see him just get up and then continue to make throws, and not only that, like the pressure in his face for most quarterbacks after taking those hits alters the throw.
Yeah,
and he just doesn't care. He just doesn't care.
No, he's superhuman. There's something crazy going on with that dude. Did you find yourself wondering if there was actually a bounty on Josh in like a in a New Orleans Saints kind of way? It started with the first time he had to go in the tent, where he had already been hit hard and was down, and then got like a Hulk Hogan elbow drop on his head from a fat-ass D lineman. I don't even know who it was because I don't like rewinding. I don't trust YouTube TV. Like, I feel like I'm going to lose the game if I go backwards. I'm just going to lose track of what's going on. But I wanted to see it again because 100% he was down, and then a guy dropped his wide ass/hips onto his head, and then he had to go to the tent because of the independent neurologist or whatever. Like, oh, you took a blow to the head. There's no penalty. There's no nothing. They did. And then the knee thing on the first rushing touchdown was, to me, super late and gross. And I want to say there were like 2 other ones too, where it was just like, I don't even blame them. Like, you're the Jaguars. How do you beat the Bills? Well, we got to take out Josh Allen. And take him out means take him out. And so I get it. Like, do what you can. And I'm not even, like, mad at them, but they were, like, there was so much just borderline, that's 15 yards, but it's not quite because I can't catch you. Like, they were good. They were stealthy in their attacks on him, but it absolutely felt like game plan, like, number 1 point in the game plan was eliminate this player from contention. Not take him out of the game, like make him not hurt us. It was like, no, get him off the field. And I felt like they did that yesterday, and I haven't heard anything about it, but that's what it looked like to me. It looked like he was targeted as a player they needed to eliminate. It didn't work, which, again, that's pretty demoralizing too. It's like, oh, we're fighting against a superhero here.
Right. It's the scene in The Terminator where some guy shoots the Terminator with a shotgun and he falls down. He's like, wow, cool. I just beat the Terminator. And then he just gets back up.
Yeah. You're like, oh,
and you're like, oh no, that is not good. That's not good at all. Cause all I got is the shotgun.
Yeah.
And that didn't work. So yeah, it
was dirty. They played dirty. They played dirty and it didn't work.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of what you got to do. It's playoff football. They're all jacked up. I get it.
Yep.
But, yeah. And I also, before I get to the second thing, I've crapped on him quite a bit this year, and I think probably rightfully so. Trey White was good yesterday.
He was awesome yesterday. Good for him, man.
Trey White was good,
good
man.
For him.
Good for him. Making the tip there on the final interception, but a couple of other plays where he was able to recover and knock the ball away and make some nice plays as well. So,
yeah, I had it written down.
That's a nice little addition. If he's going to actually play like that, cool.
Yeah, I had it written down as a thing to talk about before you were on, and I never got to it. But we have a thing going all season long where the Bills get burned on a play, and I don't like stare at my phone during the game, but like during commercials, I'll pick it up, and I know for a fact that I'm going to have a text from you that just says 27. Like but it's right. It's what you're pointing out. You're not mocking Trey. He's trying. He's there. He's a stud.
Being targeted.
He's a stud. He's just elderly, as far as the NFL is concerned, and he's not what he used to be. And you're pointing out that teams are attacking him, and they absolutely have been attacking him all year long. And yesterday, at one point, I sent 27 to you before you sent it to me, and it was to compliment him, and you respected that and got it. And then as the game went on, it happened a few times where it was like, look at what 27 just did. And so, I'm glad you brought it up, because I meant to bring it up earlier that, he turned it around. It's a running, I don't even want to say joke. It's just it's a running commentary that's been going on about the way that teams are looking at him and abusing him. And yesterday he was up for the challenge and obviously, made the play at the end, but had a few mixed in there as well. It was the first time all this year where I think as a Bills fan, you're like, man, I'm glad Trey White is here, because he was awesome yesterday.
Yes. And, your other guy, Gabe Davis. Man, that stinks. That stinks for him.
I thought he was going to be the focal point. My guess was, 2 touchdowns and 84 yards or something out of Gabe, and I think he probably was heading in that direction. He did drop that ball too, but I think his career ended on that play. I don't anticipate him fighting back from this. It looked to be this. It's the same knee. He got off the plane. My
same knee, same field,
same everything about it. My family went to. I didn't go, but the rest of my family went to the airport to welcome them back last night. And he got off the plane with it was crutches and it's knee brace, and there may have been a cast involved too. I'm not positive, but like nothing on his foot, and it's bad. So that sucks, because to me, that was like a super secret addition to the lineup on a team where we talk a lot about the lack of weapons in the passing game. And I just thought that's a guy that Josh trusts, and he's going to be a big deal in the playoffs. And I thought he'd be a big deal yesterday, and I think he could have been until his season was ended. We're not going to see him again.
No, I don't think so. I also at that time said that could be career ending for him, unfortunately, because it's the same
fighting back,
the same injury,
and fighting back again to get back to being on a practice squad, to get back, it sucks.
My other main takeaway, not just from this game but from the games in general, is coaches passing on free points. And I can't freaking stand it.
Yeah.
It's really bothering me. And I went on a long rant last night about it, and I realized that it was to my 13-year-old.
I was going to say, to who dealt with this?
It was to my 13-year-old, and he was like,
"What did Jeffrey?"
He basically just looked at me and was like, "Okay, okay,
yeah."
But here's the thing. The Bears had that terrific comeback and win. It didn't need to be that hard.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be that hard.
Stop going for it all the time.
Yes.
Stop worrying about what the internet's going to say.
Yes. The one thing I want, and the one thing about football is when it comes right down to it, it's different from baseball, because baseball, I think, is a game that lends itself much more to a one-on-one comparison, and it's a round ball, which makes analytics much more predictive.
Yeah. People all stand in the same places.
Yes, yes. Football, when you get right down to it, is one grown man saying to the other grown man, I'm going to move you against your will from point A to point B. And the other side saying, I bet you can't.
Yeah.
Or make me. You know, it's balls, man. That's what the game is. And you're, as a coach, you got to have a feel not only for the game, but the situation and your team and your opponent. But most importantly, you got to have the feeling in your gonads of what to do. And I think that there's a little bit of a mix of punting is losing that has overtaken what's actually happened in the game. And there's all these goddamn nerds who have all these goddamn numbers and spreadsheets that, 3rd and 4 at the 47. I think that's, my paper says that's green. Shut up, geek. You don't know what the hell is going on in the game. Your paper says that's what you should do. Great. Well, I'm watching it, and my defense is playing good. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to punt it to their 5, and I'm going to pin them down there, and I'm going to get the ball right back in 3 plays. And I'm going to be right near midfield. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Or I've got the ball, and it's 4th and 3 at the 20-yard line. Guess what? Take a field goal. Jacksonville's not playing anymore football because they get gifted the ball after the kick return on the fumble. They get gifted 3 points.
Yep.
And the difference in the game is when the Bills got gifted the
3 and they took the 3. That's right.
And they took the 3. Jacksonville gets gifted the 3 right after the touchdown. They can come out and score 10 points in 2 minutes.
Yep.
And they have all the momentum. Put the ball through the uprights. Go up 10-3. They have all the momentum. The place is going crazy. You're at home.
Yep.
And instead they decide to go for it. And what they also have to factor into it is, again, the knowledge of your team and having that feeling in your plums. And it's knowing Trevor Lawrence is a pansy ass. So when push comes to shove, I know Josh is going to lower the shoulder, run over a defensive end, and get the touchdown at the goal line. But you know what Trevor Lawrence is going to do with his goddamn sunshine-looking long hair?
His capri
He's
pants.
going to duck down
hair.
in his capri pants,
His wedding
and try
ring on
to
the right
dive
hand.
for it, and he's going to be a freaking wuss about it, and he's not going to get the yards. If he just stays up and powers through, they get the first down.
I had my
So you know
son
what you
convinced.
do? You take 3 points.
I had my
Take 3 points.
I had my son convinced until he was 7 or 8 years old that Trevor Lawrence was a woman. Like, this lady can't play football, and he's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, she's terrible." And he believed it the whole time. I argued with the online the AI thing yesterday about his masculinity. I asked it a bunch of questions. I tried to send the whole thing to you because it's funny. I don't think I want to read it because it's probably offensive or whatever. But I was like, the dude's gay, right? And then it was just like, no, he's married to his high school sweetheart. I'm like, isn't that a beard? Like, isn't that how you would do it if you wanted to pretend that you were? And it was like, no, there's no reason for this. I'm like, what's up with his hair? And like, it goes off. I'm like, well, what's up with the wedding? Why is his wedding ring on his right hand? I mean, it's like, some people choose that. I'm like, what's up with the capri pants? And eventually AI is just like, stop it. I understand what you're trying to do here.
I hear you.
It's a very long conversation that I sent to you, but it was very long and skinny, so you couldn't read it. But it was just me during the game going, what is going on with this dude? Yeah, there's a difference between Josh the man and Trevor Lawrence the lady. And there's a difference there. And yes, there's something to be recognized. I think that coaches used to fear.
It used to be the other end.
Well, it used to be that they feared what the reporters would ask them about or what the GM or owner would ask them about after the game. You're like, yeah, I had to kick the field goal because that's the right thing to do, or I had to punt because that's the right thing to do. And then the internet went nuts. And now I think they fear the online comments. And I think they're reacting to all of it. And the best coach wouldn't hear any of it and would just go win the game and then say, screw you. I did what I had to do in the moment. But I think it used to be
because
the
nerds
outside.
put out numbers.
Well, you're right.
This is a guttural game.
Yeah.
When you break it down, it has to be guttural. It can't be choosing what to do off of a spreadsheet. It's not that simple. Football is not Stratomatic.
Yeah.
You can do that in baseball. You can feel that way. And while I don't like some of the decisions, I understand them because it's a much more predictive style of game.
Sure.
This isn't that. This isn't that. You have to be able to feel it. I need points.
Yep.
Especially in the way the game was looking right then. It didn't look like it was going to turn into some type of track meet. It looked like both defenses were playing pretty well. And every point was going to be at a premium. Things, across the league, it seems that once teams get to the fourth quarter, it's like everybody calls the play they've actually waited to call all game, and it becomes a track meet. But to just pass on that 3 points is asinine, and teams did it all weekend. The only exception I will add in there to say, and I think that it's a really good example of the type of coach and the type of thinking that I'm talking about, was Harbaugh. Harbaugh is a big guy of taking points. And guess what? He wins a whole bunch. But last night, early in the game, they've got 4th and 2 at the 2, and he decides to go. I think that that's the right decision. I think that there's a big decision between 4th and 4 at the 18-yard line and 4th and 2 at the 2.
Well,
and there's a lot of these new age coaches that there doesn't seem to be any difference between those two to them.
Yeah.
And to me, it's ridiculous.
Well, the thing, and I've always been a proponent of this, and some of it is based in playing Madden and playing the college football game and whatever. Worst case scenario, 4th and 2 or 4th and goal at the 2. Worst case scenario, I don't get it. I've got you backed up, and you've got this, and I can get points now. I sack you, I get points, and I get the ball. So like I've always loved that part of it. I love going for it, and like kicking from the 2 is that's weak to me. I maybe not every situation. It might, late game there might be a different thing based on score, but we're still establishing like what's going on here, and I always love that. Fully knowledgeable of the fact that it might not work, but now you're coming out, especially if I'm at home and now my crowd is there and you're at the 1 and you've got Trevor Lawrence or you've got whatever, a guy I don't totally trust. Like, perfect. Give them the ball at the 1. Like, we love it when you punt the ball out at the 1 or punt the ball out at the 2. Like, we love that. Back them up, especially at home with the crowd. Like, they're going to take a false start. They're going to have to move a foot and a half back, whatever it is. Like, I love that. So that is different to me completely. And I'm agreeing with you. I jumped in to agree with you.
Well, we saw it with UB, and I'm just going to go back to when Lance Leipold was there, and when he had a 6'7" junior quarterback who was the offensive player of the MAC
century
for the year, and it was 4th and 1 or 4th and 1.5. They were going for it from all over the place.
Right. Smash
all
through.
the time.
Right.
Right. And then the next season, they had a much smaller, still effective, but much smaller Kyle Van Treese. And guess what? They punted those and say, well, we'll play defense.
Yeah.
Or they took field goals.
Yeah.
And both were equally effective in getting to the postseason.
Yeah.
So
it's a good coach.
That's a good coach, and it just drives me crazy to see them going for it all the time, every time. I mean, the Bears were down 21-3 in large part because they just went for it every 4th down, no matter where they were on the field. It was, it was crazy. It was insane.
Did you see the Ben Johnson post game thing?
Where he in the locker room?
Yeah.
F the Packers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I like Ben Johnson. I think he does a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. Bad decision.
It's
sure.
too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much, and he almost cost his team the game.
Hey, I want to throw this in right now, just because you're mentioning the bad. I got a photo sent to me out of nowhere. Reuben Brown is a friend of ours, and he played for the Bills mostly, and then played for the Bears at the end of the season. He has been last week. I haven't talked to him in 6 months, let's say. He just randomly sent me a picture of himself wearing a Bills hat in the Bahamas last week. leading into the final game at the stadium. I saw, like, my phone gives me a preview, and it says the text is from Reuben Brown, and it just says photo. And I thought, oh, this must be Reuben at the Bills game. This was, an hour before kickoff, Bills Jets last week. And I thought, oh, must be him at the stadium. He's sending me like a shot of him with his friends or whatever. And I open it up, and it's not that at all. It's Reuben at in the Bahamas. Just background. He's got a Bills hat on, and there's water behind him, and it looked like the Bahamas, and I thought it might be, and it was. And apparently he's still there, because yesterday he sent me a picture. How cool is this for him? He's got on a Bills hat again. Bahamas are, the ocean's still behind him. Bills hat, Bears t-shirt. What a weekend for our boy Reuben Brown. Super cool.
Yeah. He had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And they were fun games.
No kidding.
Those were fun games. It was brutal seeing the punishment dished out to the Chargers last night, specifically the quarterback.
Well, oh my God! I sent you a text and said, "Would you be surprised if Justin Herbert announces his retirement tonight?" You replied immediately, "Nope." And in the tiny little 10-second gap between me sending that to you and you replying, I got a text from our good friend Ray Walter that said, "You think Herbert will retire tonight?" It was like, that looked like the worst day ever, being him, just getting pounded. Like, when he got hit, it wasn't just him getting hit. It was like he'd get hit, and then on his way down, he'd get hit. And then when he landed, he'd get hit. And that happened 17 times in that game.
Yeah.
My God.
Every time he was getting hit, it looked like the opening scene of Meet Joe Black, where Brad Pitt gets ragdolled between the cars in the street. That was the whole game. That was the whole game for him. It was, and even more so at the end of the game there, where he got hit and he fumbled. He actually didn't get up after that. He was laying there.
Yeah.
And then one of the offensive linemen just picked him up by the shoulder pads.
Like, we're standing up now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And just set him upright. And then was like, just him by the end of that made me feel like
you're glad you don't
he
play
would
football.
He would be on the sideline, and they're sitting there, and the quarterback coach usually always comes over and starts talking with the quarterbacks or whatever. And I just imagine that conversation going, hey, Justin, how you doing? And then him just saying, I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what it looked like.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it. Please don't. Let's not do this anymore, please.
Yeah.
Let's just kneel this out.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
And it's credit to Harbaugh, because that team was completely injured. Running backs are all hurt. He had banged up receivers. The offensive line is completely new. And they still managed to get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they were still able to, I know that at the end it was 16-3, but they
were
competed.
hanging.
They hung around. I feel bad for our friend.
Which one, Khalil or
Mack.
JP? Because Jarrett played.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, him too, but more so Khalil, just because he's older, and I feel like this again. He's on the team that makes the playoffs, and the defense, his side of the ball, held up their end of the bargain.
Yeah,
and the offense did not, and he's just kind of caught in that bad trap of good defensive teams in the playoffs, and the offense just cannot move the ball. I mean, it was like that with Chicago. It was like that. If you remember, they have a great season there where he was dominant on the defensive side of the ball early on in the career of Carr with the Raiders. And then like 2 weeks before the playoffs, Carr goes down with the injury, and they end up with the backup in the playoffs, where their defense is terrific and he's out there dominating, and they just don't score any points. They can't score any points. It's a totally different team. And they win 12, 13 games, whatever it was, and then lose immediately because of that. So he's had hard luck when it comes to that. And really, I hope that in the end it doesn't affect where people will evaluate him when
I
it
think
comes
he's first
time
ballot. I think he's
for
first
the
ballot.
Hall of Fame.
I think he's first ballot Hall of Fame. I think I've been saying this for a while. I've never been to, I've been to Canton, but I've never been inside the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I went there and went to the store inside it. It was closed when we got there, and we played around on the outside field. But I will go. I've never been to an induction ceremony, and the two that I will go for are Khalil and Josh. And Khalil will come first, but I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't think there's any question about that. I think he is. He has been that. He is what we saw here in Buffalo, and I think he's first ballot. Don't you?
I'm not sure. Well, again, this is part of the thing is, will his lack of playoff games and playoff performances impact the way he is viewed by
I think that's only quarterbacks.
the voters?
I think that's quarterbacks. Quarterbacks got to win. Defensive players just got to play.
His versatility, the fact that he's the first player to be all pro at two positions.
The same year.
In the same year. Yeah. I think he is a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he's going to be a first ballot. And again, that kind of depends on who he ends up. Well, presents, but who he ends up in the same class as.
Oh, right, yeah.
I mean, are you going to be in the same class as, Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, all these other surefire Hall of Famers that could push you back. So, kind of.
All right, he's going in. He's going in, and we're going. Let's go. You want to go?
I think so, for sure.
All right, yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
to that.
I would definitely go to that for sure.
Our good friend John Fuller went to the draft with him and sat with him when he got picked 5th overall, and should have gone 4th. Should have gone first, but could have gone 4th to the Bills. Now that's I loved watching him on a team playing against the Patriots that I don't like. That said, as a Bills fan, I kind of want the AFC Championship game to be in Foxborough, because I kind of want to set things straight on this Drake May shit. I like him. I think he's good, and honestly, I like Vrabel too. But you're not. It's about Michael Bryan to me, who's another mutual friend. I'm sorry for all this inside baseball crap today, but I already had cropped a picture of the AFC East Champions T-shirt that you can buy online to send to Mike after the Chargers won last night. I was ready to be like, congratulations on winning the division when they were done. It's still in my phone. It's ready whenever they get eliminated, whether it's this coming week or it's the Bills doing it to them in 2 weeks. But I don't think, because Josh hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, there's still a little bit of a whatever, cute little Josh Allen. This isn't cute, man. This is the best player I've ever seen play football. And bringing Drake May into a conversation with Josh Allen, to me, is absurd and angers me. And Mike is my friend, and we joke. But I want to end this conversation ASAP. So I've got the thing ready.
Well, you'll certainly be supported if that matchup does happen. You'll certainly be supported by the rest of the oxygen-breathing world in that. Because is there anything more demoralizing than the Patriots going on a 20-year run and then basically being able to recycle? They take a bust at quarterback. They have to get rid of the coach. They go through two coaches, and they're just right back again.
Yeah, they're not back. They're not.
That sucks.
They think they are.
Yeah, it would.
When I was looking for the shirt online yesterday to crop the image and have it ready to go as a text message MMS to Mike. One of the ones I found was it was like the Empire returns or the Empire is back or something like that, and it's like, no, you just won the division almost on a tiebreaker. It wasn't quite. They got one, but like you didn't beat anybody. Yesterday was the second winning team you beat all season, and
it was 6-3 in the third.
And it was 6-3 in the third, and I don't know. I'm not saying they're not going to be something to fear, but they're not back. They're coming back, and that's cool. But there's a journey you have to go through. And, you know, when the Bills got Josh, Brady was still there. And it was like, well, this could be cool eventually, but it wasn't there yet. And I just want to tell Mike that they're not there yet, but they have to lose for me to do that. And I'm looking forward to it, but it hasn't happened yet.
You brought up John Fuller when you mentioned Khalil, and I think that that's a good segue into the fact that he is he did not enjoy his Sunday.
No, he's a Philly fan.
He's a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and there was sadness over there, I'm sure, at the Fuller household, as now 100% attention is shifted to the 76ers for him. Although it's usually probably 70-30. Even with the Sixers, he's the largest Sixers fan on planet Earth, I think. So, but their offense, the Eagles' offense, I don't understand it.
No,
like they've got a good offensive line, and they've got wide receivers, they've got Saquon Barkley, and they've got a quarterback that's thrown for over 300 yards twice in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, it all makes sense. It all doesn't make sense, I guess. It all fits. And what the hell?
Right.
Because it was it was yesterday was like was that yesterday or 2 days ago? I don't even remember at this point. It was yesterday. It was like the Bills game where like he didn't complete a pass in the second half, and it happened again. It wasn't quite that, but it was like leaning that way. Like the offense stopped happening in the second half.
Yeah. And, you know, we get to the end of the game, and San Francisco wide receiver Juwan Jennings has more completions over 15 yards than Jalen Hurts.
That's right.
That was one.
Yeah. That was a cool play.
That was one.
That was such a cool play.
In Jennings' defense, he was one of the top 5 quarterback recruits coming out of high school.
Sure.
In the nation.
Yeah.
But still,
if you're good, you're a quarterback. I bet that's true of so many receivers and running backs and whatever. The skill players, they were the best player on their high school team, and so they played quarterback. And then you get there and you're like, well, we got this other guy who was also that. You're behind him, and now you're a receiver, and that's fine. But that's the second time, I guess, he's completed a touchdown pass to McCaffrey. That was a great throw. It was a great catch. It was perfect. Just a cool-ass play, you know?
Yeah, but the Eagles, you know, and the defense, again, the Eagles, I thought, not the problem. Not the problem yesterday. The Eagles' defense all year was good. Not only that, shout out to the MAC. Basically, the best player on the field was Quinyon Mitchell, who was from Toledo, had 2 interceptions. But the Eagles... I thought that with all of San Francisco's injuries, even with how poorly they played on offense, I thought that they were going to be able to figure that out. And then once they figured it out through one game, then anything can happen. Then they become very dangerous.
Yep.
An experienced team with all that talent getting over the first team, getting the first win in there, then it becomes really dangerous. And they just couldn't figure it out. It's this year's Eagles team, I think, is, you know, there should be a study done because it just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like what was actually happening?
Totally. Yeah, that makes 100% sense.
As a Giants fan, I hate Sirianni. I think he's a a-hole and he acts like one. And him flying down the field and getting in AJ Brown's face yesterday.
That was weird.
Not a good look. He says after the game he was just telling him to get off of the field. That sure didn't look like it.
Well, it was on
didn't look like it. There's an awful lot more than that going on.
Yeah. That was bizarre. I watched that multiple times trying to figure it out, and like I was trying to watch it, and at the same time watch the game that was on, and at the same time, my wife or one of my kids was talking to me. So like I didn't do it with sound. Like I don't know if you could hear anything. I don't know what that was, but yeah, that's a. If I'm on WIP radio today, we're talking a lot about that moment and like, is this the dude we want leading our team?
Right. And, he's been to 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So that's where it becomes rough. At what point do you say, like, what the hell are you doing, man? All the antics we can do without. And at what point does that also become, well, now you're changing who he is? And if you change who he is, now you're not going to get the best version of him. So I don't know. I'm glad he's not my coach. I know that. And I've had a bunch of bad ones here recently. So
you're going to get a good one soon. Do you think that you're going to get Harbaugh? Because the latest thing I saw was, I think late last night I was reading, and it was that Harbaugh, the week that he's taking off, there was a thing last week from Florio on Pro Football Talk that the reason that Harbaugh was not taking interviews yet is that he was waiting through the weekend.
Packers and Bills.
Which could be it, right. Packers and Bills. And Packers are out, so that's a thing. And people are mad at LaFleur, so maybe that's a thing. But then I saw a thing last night that he was going through tape of quarterbacks, including Jackson Dart, and that makes sense. Do you want him? Do you think you'll get him? What do you think? Giants Harbaugh, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think he's an excellent, experienced coach who's got a pretty good track record as far as hiring assistant coaches as well. And I like the way he coaches. I like the whole situation. I would be ecstatic with that.
Yeah.
And I think it, no matter, you don't know how it's going to turn out in the end, but I think it's fair to say the fact that every other open team and several others that are not open immediately inquiring about it tells you all that you need to know, as far as that's not just my opinion thinking I want an experienced coach. That's everybody else in the NFL saying, oh, okay, yeah, if I can get that guy, then yeah, we could make some changes.
Well, unlike every other guy that pops up, this is like full experience, long term, has been the architect or the supervisor of a program that has been excellent forever. The Ravens have been an excellent football program for a long time. It's not, hey, we had a good year. Hey, this offense is good. Let's hire the coordinator. It's not that. It's they've been consistently excellent, and they've won once under him, I think, right? One Super Bowl.
Yep. But Flacco.
Yeah. But they've been there the whole time. They've been right there, and they've won. Like, if McDermott got let go today, he won't. They won yesterday. If he got let go today, he would be like, well, this guy created a program and a system. And Harbaugh did that and also has the win. McDermott doesn't have the win. He's got the win. So, like, I don't know that there's ever been a more perfect candidate to hire as a head coach than John Harbaugh is right now. So whoever gets him, that's a win. I screamed at the TV when I thought McDermott wasn't going to throw the thing and throw the flag on the Herbert. God, the games are all running together. Who'd they play?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. When his leg was down and then he kind of dove. I'm like, you're going to win this one, dude. Do it. And if he didn't, I yelled at the TV, if you don't throw that red flag, John Harbaugh is the coach of this team tomorrow. I yelled that out loud, and because that's what he brings. So whoever gets him, that's a massive score. He's going to have a lot to live up to wherever he lands. But for sure, he's the number one. That's the guy you want if you're one of the 7 or 8 teams that doesn't have a coach right now.
Yeah. Organized, leader of men, experienced. And I think that's something that the Giants desperately need and require right now, is that that type of experience and that type of leadership. And he runs a good program. Like you said, they're always competitive. So I think that I don't want to say it's a foregone conclusion, but I think that odds are he is going to be the guy. And what will happen is that all of the top candidates are going to be taken at once and the Giants will be left with none. That's kind of the way things have gone the last couple of years. So, if you're looking at quarterbacks, then I think the Giants put themselves in a pretty good situation. And again, I think the relationship what type of relationship quickly can be formed between Shane, who is staying on as the GM, and who is going to be the head coach, and will Harbaugh be able to deal with that?
All right. There's a thing in the chat that says that Tiana Taylor, who we mentioned early in the conversation from One Battle After Another, she was in another movie that we haven't seen yet, but we should. It was the 11th movie, according to to Nick and Depew, the 11th movie in the Medea franchise.
Oh, hell yeah.
Medea's Big Happy Family.
Yeah.
She was in that. So we should watch that.
I'll check that out.
Yeah. I think at some point
I'll celebrate her entire catalog.
I think I want to watch every Medea movie and talk about them. Maybe with you. In a series, like elderly white men watch Medea movies or something.
Medea does Brad.
Sure. Brad does Medea. It would be.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? Brad and Scott do Medea.
Well, that could go either way.
Could.
Just depends on how you're feeling.
What kind of night you want to have? Yeah, I think I want to watch that. You watched the Medea movie I did, right? The Bahamas one. What was that called?
That was bad.
Destination Wedding.
Destination
Bad is
Wedding.
absolutely the wrong word to use there. That was bad. That was bad. That was somewhat great.
Well, somewhat great, yeah.
It was
in the way that it's bad.
Yeah, it was interesting. We're not gonna do that right now, but I wanted to wrap it up with the Tiana Taylor thing. All right. Is there anything else we have to do before we didn't talk about each individual game. We didn't talk about college. Do you want to talk about the
quickly,
matchup in the final?
I'll just say as far as college goes, Indiana. That's another win. That's 6 in a row.
Holy crap with that team.
So no, that's fun. That is fun.
Do you have a short answer to how did this happen? Cignetti, it can't be that much better than every other person that's ever coached. So what happened there? It can't just be importing James Madison player. What is that they're throttling blue bloods? What's going on? And Oregon's not quite a blue blood, but you know what I mean. That was an embarrassing situation for Oregon a week after an embarrassing situation for Bama. A couple weeks after an embarrassing Ohio State. What are we talking about? What is going on there?
They're good at player evaluation, and they're good at putting together a program for execution. That's as simple as that. It's also interesting to see how it's all minimal. Less practice time, less coaches in the office. He keeps everybody fresh, and I think that's part of it too.
Okay. It's incredible. It's incredible what's going on, and I absolutely want them to win. And I think if you're not in, Dade County, I think you want to see Indiana do this. And it's just it's refreshing. It's such a change. It's crazy. Is that now a dominant program for years to come? What are we? Is Indiana a thing to be feared, or is this a one-off? It doesn't seem like it's a one-off. I don't know. Mendoza's good. he's very good. He's impressive. He's going to be a friggin' Raider, which sucks. But I don't know. Like, what are you seeing? Is this the future of football that this guy is going to be, or this team is going to be a dominant force? Because it feels like that. Like, everything is changing. It's chaos. We don't know what's going on. Oh, this guy's got it figured out. What's happening? And the phone hung up. Did he hang up on me? I'm sure he didn't. I'm sure he didn't hang up on me on purpose. But right as I asked that question, the phone disconnected. So I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna kill time for a few seconds. He's gonna realize that he's not connected anymore, and then probably call back. I would think. I'm not gonna call him back. I could end the show right now. It's 12:09. I've done my time. But we'll give it a few minutes. I could also go into the phone where I took a ton of notes, but it's the same phone Scott's going to call, so I'm not doing that. The only thing I had written down on paper was Bob Weir and New Black Crowes. There are 2 new songs out from Black Crowes. The Black Crowes are putting out a new album. It just like that info dropped over the course of the weekend, and they have 2 new songs out. And I listened to them, and I like them. It's not like I love those songs, but I like them, and I like the Black Crowes putting out new music. The only problem I have with like falling in love with New Black Crowes is they've got so much music that they're one of my favorite bands. I love them, but I also I could grab an album that they put out 20 years ago and be like, you know what? I never really listened to this album and put it on and love it. I don't need new music from them. I like that they're vibrant. I like that they're alive. I like that the brothers are getting along like regular musicians and just cranking out music and putting things together instead of fighting and being, I don't know, Oasis right now. But nothing they're doing now is revolutionary. It's just more good music, and I appreciate it, and I want it, and keep it coming. And come to Buffalo, please. Even Darien would be fine. I'll go see you. I would love to go see you play again. Haven't done that in probably 20 years. Would love to see Black Crowes play. But, you know what? It wasn't 20. It actually is close to 20, probably 16. They play UB, Center for the Arts, at some point, and I went to that. I remember running into Kirsten Parker, Chris Parker, Bulldog's wife there. She loves Black Crowes too. If they go on tour and come to Buffalo, we should have Kirsten on the show. Talk about that. Get the Black Crowes to the Caz. Yeah, I mean, yes. Yes. Max capacity of like 170 people. Just me and the Black Crowes making a part of Brain Vault. Brain Vault featuring Black Crowes would be the best Brain Vault episode ever. We haven't even done one yet, but that would be the best one. All right, doesn't seem like Scott's calling back. He's just gone. Maybe he's dead. Maybe he got hit by a car. Maybe he was sitting in his car doing the show, and then he died. R.I.P. Scott Wilson and Bob Weir. Who will be missed more? All right, I'm going to wrap it up. We're done. Well, actually, I could go into my phone. I can save that for tomorrow. I'm going to do a show tomorrow. I've got 17 probably notes written in my phone of things I wanted to talk about today, and I never looked at it. So tomorrow's show should be impressive. There's going to be a lot going on. And we'll have a football game to talk about, too, because there's one left with Houston at Pittsburgh tonight. Winner will go to New England. Bills will go to Denver. Scott's calling. Just bring him back, right? We'll do it. All right, we'll do it. I was going to wrap up the show. I said either Scott's going to call back or we're going to end the show. And I was fine with ending the show. But Scott's back.
Oh, great. Well, all right, forget it. Go ahead. End your little show.
Bye.
Fine.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
I didn't
Indiana's
like
good.
how it ended. I didn't like how it ended.
That's the long and short of it. Indiana, very good. Very, very good. They're not going to get any worse either. They've had monster portal additions here, and they are they're signing 5-star wide receiver recruits for the next class. They're getting, you tune into these high school All-American games. I tuned in. There was a wide receiver there. He had 5 hats on there. There's Alabama. There's kid is from Kentucky. There's Louisville. There's, all the blue bloods. And then there's Indiana. And he puts on the Indiana hat. And it's still very odd. But
it's cool.
Listen, it's the hire of the century. And he came in, was able to sell it immediately. And it helps that he has Mark Cuban on board. Bankrolling a lot of this, I think, is a big part of it that's starting to really come out exactly how involved he has been. Cuban, Indiana grad, and basically made his fortune by him and his friends wanting to not be in the area, couldn't be in the Bloomington area, but wanted to be able to keep up and listen to and keep track of the Indiana basketball games.
And that's broadcast.com?
Yeah, and they developed it, and it turned into a big thing, and that's how he made his money.
Is that still working where you can broadcast like radio things online? Is that still going?
I think so. Probably. So yeah, it's he's paying them back. And it's interesting to hear them talk about how, and I didn't realize this, that the Indiana University currently has the largest living alumni base in the country, where they're up 800,000 around there. So they've got a good number of people to draw money from. And on top of that, credit to them. And I've said it here before that it just must be absolute bliss, where all of a sudden they're excellent. Like all of a sudden they're number one, and all these IU grads and all these IU fans are going to these games. It is, they are going to the Rose Bowl, and it is 60-40 over Alabama fans. They went down to the Peach Bowl, and it was 80-20 Indiana fans. Like it felt like a home game for Indiana. Yep. So they are drinking it in, and they are, they're living it up and enjoying the moment, and as they should. When you've gone 120 years as the worst program, major program in the country,
let's just be the best.
Now all of a sudden this happens. Yeah. Right. They've just decided that they're going to be best, and it's the talent evaluation part of it, and hearing Cignetti talk about the time. How he manages his time, how he manages his practices is fascinating, as well as he is still in charge of the talent evaluation. So if they're going to be in on a player, he still has to be the one to watch the tape, see what's going on, and make the decision. And I think part of it is something that we talk about all the time in the MAC. And when you look at Sean Dolak not getting drafted despite leading the country in tackles and having an unbelievable season, and then all of a sudden the Rams won't even let him play preseason because they're like, holy crap,
this can't get him hurt.
Right. I don't want him to be hurt. So he has a big emphasis on production over potential. So one of their corners, it might be the guy that had the pick six to start the game, but one of their corners is 5'9", and a lot of times now it's like, oh well, we want him 6 foot. We want right. Meanwhile, the guy's out there and he's taking a different approach as far as just saying, can the guy freaking play or not? Like, all right, this guy is 6'2" and he's got the frame and all the potential, but is he? Is he actually playing, or what's going on?
Yeah.
and he takes that production and has made it work for him. Also about that game, it's interesting to note. I saw somebody post about it online afterwards. I didn't notice it in the game because I was just kind of watching as a fan, not as somebody that was, actually invested like that. But apparently, first of all the injuries for Oregon at running back had them shifting some of their defensive players that used to play running back to halfback just so that they could have the depth there. And one of the running backs that they was getting a lot of time had a thing where if it was a running play, he would put his mouth guard in. And if it was a pass play, he would oftentimes forget to put his mouth guard in.
Yep.
And it's like, those are the things that
don't fly with Cignetti.
Right. That Cignetti is going to pick up on and notice so that when things start and they're going to throw a quick out, they are going to be all over it. But it's an unbelievable story, and it absolutely will be and should eventually be a movie, because this is the Bad News Bears winning the World Series.
Right. As children.
Right. Yeah.
Children winning the real World Series. Like, I don't know. We got into the tournament somehow, and now we beat the Padres. Whatever.
When the overarching sentiment, because Cignetti was at James Madison and had them rolling and, going 11-1 and winning games over and over and over again. The overarching sentiment was that he is leaving James Madison for a worse job in Indiana. And for him to be able to take that and turn it completely on its head and still be able to do it and, talk the talk and then walk the walk, the Google me thing. Like, it's his thing now. Like, that's him. Is him saying, how are you going to convince, the question at his opening press conference, how are you going to convince recruits to come here when nothing has ever happened here before? And his response was, I win. Google me. And that was it. And he was right. To be able to talk that talk and then back it up at the worst place in America is something, man. It's fun. It's fun. I don't like Indiana because of Keith Smart, and I was a kid, and that sucked. That sucked. But for football, I can understand what's happening here.
It's 40 years ago, man. You let it go.
Right. Well, I'm not going to let it go for basketball, but I will give him a pass for football in this. I really like Cignetti. I like the story, and I like the complete anomaly in football. This is like, I'll draw this comparison for right now. I know you are not big on soccer, but in the Premier League a couple of years 10 years ago, Leicester City was barely in the Premier League, barely able to stay up out of relegation. And then all of a sudden they had 1 year where their striker came of age, Jamie Vardy, and he was scoring every game, and the rest of the team was great, and they had the right coach at the right time, and all the players were there, and it wasn't, there was no superstar on the team, and they ended up going from what would be like a 5,000-1 shot to even finish in the top 4 of the league to winning the Premier League out of nowhere. This is that. This is
a movie yet? Is that a movie yet? Like, I've been waiting 10 plus years.
That's not a movie yet, that I don't think, but it should be, and it will be.
No
kidding. Just like this will be. This will be Cignetti taking a job that nobody else wanted. It's the worst, and saying, F it. I'm winning here, and we're going to do it right away. It's cool. They've got one last hurdle. It's going to be interesting to see how they deal with, for real. I mean, they play really physically, and Beck, the quarterback, has turned it on here in the playoffs and has played pretty well. I think Indiana is going to be a little bit too much for them.
They look like too much for everybody. I can't picture. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't even look like a fun game. It looks like Indiana's going to dance on Cristobal and the Hurricanes. Like, I just whatever. I don't follow it like you do, but I've watched all the playoff games, and holy crap, like Indiana's a whole different level of everything right now. So how do you go from nothing to dominance? That's crazy. So yeah, I want to watch that movie. I want to watch the Leicester thing, or Leicester, however you pronounce that, Leicester. I want to watch that too. But yeah, it feels like that. And I think Miami gets smoked. I mean, all visual evidence that I've taken in says that the Hoosiers just absolutely roll to a national title, which is a phrase that has never been used in football.
Ever.
Yeah.
Never ever.
Nah,
this
cool.
This is one team trying to return to glory and another team trying to do it for the first time ever.
Start a new thing. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and it's going to be real easy to root against Ray Lewis and Michael Irvin and everybody else on the sideline there. It's going to be really
shout out to you and Bob Gaughan, who both, for your lock of the week, had Indiana rolling, and 5 minutes into the game, it's like, well, those guys won. So good job on that. And we'll get a pick from you on Friday. It might have to be a basketball game or a pro football game or something.
Well, we got the college football championship game Monday.
Yeah, I know.
Monday.
I know. You can still do it. But I'm just
still
saying
have that.
I know, but it limits you to one game. You have other options. People don't care how they win their money. They just want money. So if it's WNBA, they're not playing right now, I don't think. But whatever you can pick from anything. You're not limited to just picking a college football game. Just win people money again, like you always do. Just win people money. I'm just telling you that if what's the line on that game? I haven't even looked at it, but I don't know. Is it 40?
It's probably 6, 7.
6, 7.
Because Miami is at home.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'll throw this other thought into. I know we got to go. Just a quick thing.
Yeah.
But I used to always think the NBA should change their schedule so that it goes from December, mid-December, and then ends right as football starting again. And you know what I realized? I like the schedule the way it is because I feel like last night I was watching highlights of the NBA, and for the first time it registered with me that they were playing. And
they're halfway through.
I love that I'm parachuting in now, or getting ready to parachute in here shortly, and they're going to be 40 games in.
Yeah.
And they're the 40 games that I don't need to even know about. So,
so I feel about the Sabres too. I'm ready to start watching the Sabres. They've won 13 out of 14 games. Let's tune in now, because we can watch half a season and it'll be perfect.
Right. Yeah. I enjoy the fact that they can eliminate most of the games that don't matter. And now I can go and kind of hunt around and figure out what's what.
Yep. Love it. All right, man. Thank you for your time. Thanks for calling back. Appreciate it. And we'll talk to you Friday. Right? Friday. Yeah.
Yes, Friday.
All right. Later, man.
See ya.
There's Scott Wilson. He's the best. Everybody say goodbye to Scott. I've got all this stuff to talk about that I'm not going to talk about now because it's 12:27 and we're going to end the show. But that means I'm fully loaded for tomorrow. So, anything that happens between now and tomorrow's show will be incorporated, I guess. But as of right now, I could do tomorrow's show now if I wanted to. I don't want to, and it wouldn't be live, and that would be stupid. So we're not going to do that. But I will thank you for watching and listening and subscribing and liking and sharing and all the crap that I ask you to do as a viewer or listener to RITER Radio. But we're going to shut it down and say goodbye. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. This has been episode 241 of RITER Radio.
What are you doing for lunch? I don't know. I have a turkey sandwich. We're gonna go around the corner. I think you should come with us. This is a great place. Okay. We brought you a shirt.
Will you get out of here? Will you get out of here? Will you? Now, will you go to lunch? Go to lunch. Will you go to lunch?